In this video, I'm going to be going through my 2027 WWE Hall of Fame class predictions and also who I predict are going to induct them. So let's get into it. Let's start with the headliner. So I'm going to predict that John Cena is going to be the headliner of the 2027 WWE Hall of Fame class. Cena just retired, and he's one of those guys you fast track right into the Hall of Fame just based on his career. Um, it's only a question for me of when Cena gets inducted because the only barrier would be if he has a big movie project or if something with his schedule is blocking him being inducted. But I just feel like he's going to move his schedule around to be honored on this night. So I'm going with John Cena as my headliner. As for who inducts him, I'm going to go with Kurt Angle. So you can probably pick up a bunch of people for Cena, just he's had many legendary rivalries, but my personal pick would be Kurt Angle, who Cena made his WWE debut against. I think that's kind of a full circle moment, and I think Kurt Angle kind of welcoming him into the Hall of Fame would be fun after kind of he faced him in his first match. So I'm going with John Cena as the headliner, and I'm going with Kurt Angle as the person who inducts him as my predictions. All right, so I'm going to go with an individual inductee, and I'm going to predict that Victoria gets into the 2027 WWE Hall of Fame class. So Victoria is one of those names who you probably assumes are already in the Hall of Fame, but she isn't. So I think that could change in 2027. I think she had a pretty good career. She's a two-time WWE Women's Champion and then also a five-time TNA Knockouts Champion. So she had success outside of WWE as well. It just feels like only a matter of time before she gets in. I think she was a pretty solid character in kind of in WWE's most popular era. So I think it's only a matter of time before she gets in. Mickie James is probably the other option for the female inductee this year, and I think Mickey's definitely going to go in, but I think Victoria's been waiting longer, so I think she should go in first. As for who inducts Victoria, I'm going to predict that it will be Trish Stratus. They had a pretty solid rivalry and had many great matches together. So yeah, I'm going with Victoria inducted, and then I'm going with Trish Stratus inducting her. Up next, I have a tag team, and I'm going with the Hardy Boyz. So this one's tricky because Matt and Jeff Hardy are both still active wrestlers with TNA, while saying that their careers are clearly kind of winding down, so we don't know how long they have in the ring. So I'm going to pick them here. Jeff previously said he turned down an individual Hall of Fame induction a few years ago because he wants to go in alongside his brother Matt. That obviously makes sense as they were a legendary tag team for so many years. I also don't have a ton of tag team and faction options right now, just off the top of my head. So they felt like the right choice, especially with kind of WWE's working relationship with TNA. And Matt and Jeff are both going to go in the Hall of Fame individually. So they're both had legendary singles careers and both a part of some great moments as individuals and obviously with their tag team work. So they're definitely both going to go in as individuals at some point. But there's no denying that the Hardy Boyz deserve to go in. So I think they put in the Hardy Boyz this year and then induct them as individuals later down the road. As for who inducts them, I'm going to go with Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes was actually the Hardy Boyz' first manager when they came onto the WWE main roster. So I think Michael Hayes, with his relationship with WWE still working there, I think he makes sense to induct them. There's other great options. You could do the Dudleys. You could do if Edge and Christian came back for it. But yeah, I'm going with Michael Hayes as my pick. All right, so I have another individual induction, and I am going with William Regal. So William Regal had a pretty solid career as an in-ring performer, but he also had a ton of success behind the scenes in WWE, working as a trainer and a behind-the-scenes employee, working with NXT talent, and was the on-screen general manager for NXT. I definitely think he's a lock for the Hall of Fame at some point. So I'm gonna go with William Regal going in this year. I feel like it'll be emotional for a lot of the superstars who worked closely with him in NXT. They all like a lot of them speak very highly of him and how much he helped them and all that. So yeah, I'm going with William Regal getting inducted, and I think that's well deserved. And then as for who inducts him, I'm gonna predict that it will be Triple H. They worked very closely together in NXT, so I think Triple H will take the reins and induct him himself on this one. All right, so my final prediction is going to be for the legacy wing, and that is going to be Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam is another name who you assume is already in the WWE Hall of Fame, but he isn't. I think that's going to change in 2027. I think they're going to put him in the legacy wing, He unfortunately died back in 2007, so that is why I'm having him in the legacy wing. He deserves to be in the normal Hall of Fame, whatever, but that's just my prediction for what they'll do. I'm surprised he's not in already because he's headlined a WrestleMania and he headlined several pay-per-views back in the day that usually feels like a guarantee. So I think it's only a matter of time before he gets in. And I'm going to have no induction here because this is a legacy wing and they don't usually do that. Maybe his family, a family member or something like that, to speak highly of him if they do end up giving somebody an opportunity to induct him. So there you have it. Those are my early 2027 WWE Hall of Fame predictions. We're still several months out, so we'll see as the year goes by and what else happens. But those are my early picks for who gets inducted and who inducts them. Let me know your picks in the comment section below. Let me know who you would induct, or if you think I got any of these wrong, if you think any of these don't deserve to go in, or think people deserve to go in before them, let me know. And yeah, please subscribe to this channel for more WWE predictions. Thanks a lot.